Hey everyone, John Ball here, graduate student at DePaul for journalism. For anyone who isn't familiar, you can find my work at johnfball3.wordpress.com. Now, I've covered mostly North Shore basketball this past winter, focusing specifically on New Trier. And with baseball season just around the corner, I thought we'd shift focus and do a little season preview. Now, I caught up with Justin Wells, who's one of the pitching and catching coaches on the 2017 New Trier baseball team. And it just so happens that he played on the 2007 team that was the state runner up and largely fell short of expectations, unfortunately. But it's the 10-year anniversary, so we got to talking about what went right, what went wrong, some of the sore memories that he might have had, but also the good ones too. So a little bit of background, and again, you can find this on my site, but the team featured four starting pitchers that were committed to D1 schools, two of which were consistent, had sub 1.5 ERAs, and proved time in and time out that they deserved the scholarships that they were given. One, Paul Duncan, went to Eastern Kentucky, where he was largely in a relief role, but Trey Frailer went to Bucknell, where he started alongside his fellow teammate, who was also on the 2007 team, Jack Boehm, who might sound familiar to you from his brother, Spencer Boehm, who's also featured on my site. So Justin, again, the pitching and catching coach for New Trier, played with all these guys, but he also allowed me a sneak preview into the 2017 New Trier team, even though it was a close practice. Head coach Mike Napoleon isn't allowing anyone inside to film batting practice or bullpens. You obviously don't want to give anything away about your team before the first pitch is even thrown. But like the 2007 New Trier team, the 2017 team has a really balanced lineup. If you read the feature, then you know that every player on the 2007 team played collegiate sports, whether it was football or baseball. Mostly baseball, only two players really played football, but even still, the athleticism on the team was unquestionable. Now, Justin said the same thing about this 2017 team, that they possess a ton of athleticism and a deep pitching staff, including closer Jack Falk, who, like Young Kim, if you'll remember him from the Arizona Diamondbacks way back in 2001 when they upset the evil empire, the New York Yankees, he has a submarine motion that tends to fool hitters. Now, the biggest question mark for the 2017 team, according to Justin, that contrasts the 2007 team, is starting pitching. The 2017 team just lost its biggest starter, Ben Brecht, to the Baltimore Orioles, who drafted him just last year. So the biggest question mark is who can step in, who can fill his shoes, and can they, replicate the playoff run they had last year, which ended in a semifinal loss, a total heartbreaker. But luckily, they have a formidable catcher that has experience with all the returning pitchers on the squad, and he also played basketball, so he's covered in some of the winter articles. But Justin also stressed the fact that playing multiple sports can develop more discipline rather than specializing, which is what a lot of kids tend to do these days. Justin harped on the fact that he has a ton of speed on the base paths, despite the fact he spends most of his time in a crouch. And he's got a really good bat. Not only that, but he attributes the coachability of Horvitz to the fact that he plays more than one sports. uh, more often than not, if you're hearing something from one mouthpiece, it's very narrow-minded, it's very singular in its view. But if you get multiple perspectives, you learn new skills, and you might be more open to constructive criticism, which is exactly how he described Dylan. So, luckily, they have a team leader returning, someone who can kind of cement the lineup and take control of a pitching staff that has a few question marks. Luckily, not big question marks, but it'll be interesting to see if Dylan has to carry the team all by himself, or if some of these younger players step up and start carrying the load, either as juniors, or maybe they didn't get as much playing time as juniors, and then they emerge and blossom as seniors. Either way, New Trier's a perennial contender in the state of Illinois. So if you're ever in the area, stop by Duke Childs Field. I promise that the baseball competition will be great. Look out for Dylan Horvitz. Look out for Jack Falk, and look out for any pitcher that might be the next guy drafted by the Baltimore Orioles. The Trevians have certainly proved within the last 10 years that they can pump out draft picks, and I don't see why this year would be any different. Again, John Ball. Find my work at johnfball3.wordpress.com, and thanks for listening.